Great news! Under the Farming Equipment and Technology Fund, thousands of grant funding agreements have been issued. I've been working with the RPA to see how we can get claims paid quicker. The thing that leads to the biggest delays is claims being sent in without the right supporting information. So it's worth taking an extra 5 minutes to check the scheme manual on gov.uk to make sure that you are sending in the right stuff. 3/4 of customers that applied to the last Countryside Productivity Small Grant Scheme sent in invoices and bank statements that needed more information before the claim could be processed. So here are a few things to remember when you claim. 1. Make sure you send it from the email address that is registered on Rural Payments. The quicker you can get your claim in, the quicker the RPA will be able to pay you. 2. Remember to fill out the claim declaration form at the bottom of your agreement. RPA won't be able to pay your claim without this. 3. When you are ordering from a supplier, make sure that you get invoices with all the right details on them. They'll need to be addressed to the same business that appears in your funding agreement. If they are not, you'll have to go back to the supplier to get new ones. 4. Make sure the bank statements you send in have all of the information the RPA need to see. Again, the claim will be delayed if not. And finally, don't forget to include clear photos of your items, including the serial number and any CE markings. Don't send in photos of kits still in its packaging, as it needs to be installed and ready to use if not already in use. Please don't wait until the 31st of October to submit your claim. Do it as soon as you've paid and installed all of your items. Half of all customers for the last small grant round claimed in the last 2 weeks, which meant that it was impossible to pay everyone within the normal 30 working days. There's some great tips to help you claim in the rest of this video. Check the description to find the section of the video you want to jump to, and good luck with your claim.
How to submit a Farming Equipment and Technology Fund FETF claim for payment. Successful applicants will have been emailed a Grant Funding Agreement, GFA, which has the claim form template at the bottom of the email. Buying your items. Once you accept your GFA via the online portal, which can be found on gov.uk, you should start to buy all of the items. When buying your items, you must make sure they meet the minimum specification set out in Annex 3 of the scheme manual. Only brand new items can be funded. Ex-demo, second-hand, part exchange or try before you buy items are not eligible. You can arrange to pay a refundable deposit with your suppliers if they agree to it. Details can be found in the scheme manual. Claim submission. Your grant will be paid in a single payment in arrears, which means that you have paid for, taken delivery of, installed and made operational, if required, all of the items. Step 1. Filling in the claim form. Complete your claim form, which is found at the bottom of your GFA. Press reply to your GFA email. This will ensure it comes straight back to us. These details are entered already for you. Complete questions 1 and 2, confirming how many invoices and bank statements you are returning with your claim. Add the details requested in the table for all items in your GFA, 1 row per item. Remember to include the make and model of your item. Enter your name at 4, noting the previous bullet points around permissions and the date at 5. Step 2. FETF claim supporting evidence, invoices. You need to attach scanned copies of photos of your invoices to your claim email. Here is an example of what an invoice should look like. You should work with your suppliers to make sure all invoices have this information. Supplier's name and address. Addressed to the same individual or business as the detailed in the GFA email. Invoice date. The manufacturer's make and model for each item. Individual cost and total amount, including VAT for each item. Details of any refundable deposit paid. Full description of each item. FET item code for each item, if possible, which can be found in Annex 3 of the scheme manual. Supplier's VAT number. If you have made a payment to a supplier that covers more than one invoice, you need to provide copies of all the invoices included in the payment. or a copy of your account statement with your supplier showing how the payment was made up. If the invoice includes additional items that were not part of your FETF application, you must clearly itemise and highlight the items you are claiming for. Invoices must be paid in full and the payment must have left your bank account before submitting your claim. Step 3. Supporting evidence, payments, defrayal. You need to include copies of your bank or building society statements or business credit card statements to show that all invoices have been paid in full by your business. Alternatively, you can send screenshots from an online account showing payment details and the bank or building society logos or a certified report printed by your bank. Here is an example of what a bank or building society statement should look like. You can blank out other personal information that isn't needed, but bank or building society statements must still clearly show bank or building society name and logo, account number and sort code, date the payment evidence was generated, if applicable, business name as listed on your GFA, transaction amount, transaction date, transaction type, including PE, reference, check number. Step 4. Supporting evidence, photos. Your claim must be supported with photographs of each item which must show the item specification and the item in situ and working, be clear, in focus, in colour and clearly show the item with no other objects. For example, you don't need to have animals in crushes or handling systems. Include the make and model number. Include the serial number and UK CA or CE marking. Must be smaller than 600 times 400 pixel and ideally no larger than 400 kilobytes. Clearly show the layout for handling system. Avoid taking photos which identify individuals, including employees, unless you have obtained their permission to share their personal information with us. We may ask you to provide an electronic copy of the installation and operating manual for items to help verify the item is eligible. Claim acknowledgement. You'll receive an automated email response from the FETF claims inbox to confirm we've received your claim. Payment. Your grant will be paid directly into the bank or building society account attached to your main business SBI number registered in the Rural Payments Service. It is your responsibility to make sure that this is a valid account for your business. Failure to do so will result in your claim payment being delayed. We aim to pay your claim as soon as possible, either within 30 working days of receipt of your claim evidence or within the agreed published timescales. If there are any issues, it may take longer. Items bought with grant funding must be kept in situ, operational if required, and in good repair for 5 years from the date of the claim payment. If you wish to upspec the grant-funded kit within the retention period, you are permitted to do this but must obtain RPA permission first. You can use the original kit to part-fund the new kit, which you have to use for the remainder of the 5-year retention period. Contact us. If you have any queries or you've made a mistake when preparing your claim, please email us at fetfclaims@rpa.gov.uk or you can call us on 03000 200 301 and choose the option for the Farming Equipment and Technology Fund. Please quote your reference number when calling. Follow us on our social media channels. Follow us on Twitter by searching @RuralPay. Follow us on Facebook by searching Rural Payments Agency, or go to YouTube and search for Rural Payments Agency. You can also read our blog by going to ruralpayments.blog.gov.uk.